Gurave Gaurachandaya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Ataha Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhavad Gariyam Indira Sevan Mukhi Swayam Spuradeva Swayam Spurada Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sade Gaura Bhaktabinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. So first of all I offer obeisances to our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Sri Srimad Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, our Shiksha Guru Sri Gaura Govinda Gosai Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Gosai Maharaj, all devotees, everyone, thank you for coming. So, what are we doing here? So, what is this material world? What are everyone doing? From the insect, the cat, the dog, the elephant, the fish, even the plant, to various degrees, the human being. Everyone engaged in trying to enjoy this world. We have 5 senses: seeing, smelling, tasting, hearing, touch. Right? And what these 5 senses are very busily doing, eye is trying to enjoy object of the senses. Right? Senses and the objects of the senses. Means eye trying to enjoy form, right? Nice scenery, whatever. Movies. Eye trying to enjoy some form, art. Ear trying to enjoy sound, music, speech, especially children, husband, relatives, friends. Right? And in expanded form, newspapers, radios, internet. Right? Ear trying to enjoy some sabda, sound. Good old tongue, rasana means tongue. Trying to enjoy what? The 6 tastes. What are the 6 tastes? Anna?
Sweet, sour, hot, umami.
Astringent, sour.
Sour, fragrant, savory, umami.
6 tongue, very busy trying to enjoy the 6 tastes. Or 4 food stuff, that which you lick, that which you chew, that which you drink, and that which you suck. Right? Bitter. Tongue always trying to taste these 6 tastes for us. Then, what else do you have? Hearing, seeing, smelling, fragrance, right? Trying to enjoy nice fragrance, therefore we burn incense, deodorant. Try to avoid unpleasant fragrances like dogs and cats. But nose trying to enjoy fragrance, and sense of touch, right? Soft clothes, socks, beds, even cats and dogs, right? Even children, I guess, husbands, wives. So the 5 senses, seeing, smelling, tasting, hearing and touch, trying to enjoy the object of the senses. What is that? Form, sound, taste, fragrance, and touch. So this is material life. So this is called ras. The happiness you feel when the eye contacts some form, that feeling, that is called ras. You'll see like a beautiful sunset or some scenery or even some attractive lady or something. Then that happiness you feel, that is called ras. Ear, when we hear some like wonderful music or some funny joke or something, that feeling, that is called ras. Same with nose, tongue, and sense of touch. This is called Visaya ras, material enjoyment. And what's everyone in the entire creation doing? Running after that. So this bhog vritti, this desire to enjoy, the senses to enjoy the object of the senses, this is like a fire. No matter how much oil you put on a fire, it always burns more and more. So the nature of this world, the nature of these senses, the more you give the senses, the more you want. So, like pouring oil on a fire, no one feels satisfied. No matter how much we eat, no matter how much we enjoy sex life, no matter how much we smell or hear, we never feel satisfied. Always, I need more, I need more, I need more. So in all this business, and what's the soul doing? That is happiness for the body, for the senses, and mind. Right? Mind is like a bridge. How the false ego, identifying with the body, tries to enjoy this world. But in all that business, and what about the soul? What is the soul tasting? Can the soul taste the objects of this world? No. So, how we are foolish. I'm also a fool, number one. How we are foolish, no? Thinking, I am this body, we are enjoying things and experiencing some happiness, but that have nothing to do with us, the real self. Therefore, in this world, no one's satisfied. No one happy, no matter how much they get. No matter how much we eat, no matter how much we enjoy, still some feeling of dissatisfaction is there. No? So this ras, we're talking now material ras of this world, but what about spiritual ras? What about the soul, Anna? What are you doing for the soul? What will be the happiness for the soul?
Going in and doing meditation.
Okay, TK. But still you need an object, and you need a subject, and you need an object. Right? This world and its varieties, this is the object of the mind and senses. But what is the object of the soul? Right? For that taste we called rasa.
Right, intimacy and connection.
On the bodily platform,
No, like a soul-to-soul connection.
what is soul-to-soul connection? That's why no one ever comes for these classes. Because at the end of the day, they know what we're hearing. So, this is a little bit basic. I'm trying to explain in a very basic way, but subject is not basic, so not so easy to understand. Because we know this world. We see it, we smell it, we taste it, we hear it, we touch it. But what's beyond this world? The soul and God. Oh my God, I said it. That is transcendental. No, transcendental. Transcendental means beyond the senses and beyond the mind. So not so very hard for us to understand, because all we have is senses and a mind. And we're trying to understand something which is beyond the senses and the mind. So very, very difficult. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, no, despite hearing, not understand, because beyond, we're using the wrong tools to understand these subject matters. No? So, first we should know we are not this body, we are not the senses. This is like our first step in spiritual life. You know? So have you heard of the Vedanta? Just say yes. Tina? Vedanta. The first 550 sutras, like sutras. Sutras means very small, 2-3 words together, sutra. The first is Ato Brahma Jigyasa. The first question, the first statement of the Vedanta. You've heard of the Vedas, right? Mm-hmm. Just say yes. The Veda is the Indian scriptures. Indian scriptures. Veda means knowledge. So the Vedanta, the conclusion, the end of all the Vedic knowledge is in this 550 sutras. So the first one is Ato Brahma Jigyasa. Now you have the human form of life. You should inquire. Ato Brahma Jigyasa. Brahma means the soul. What is the soul? Ato Brahma Jigyasa. Okay. So, if you're asking a question, then there obviously comes the hidden meaning, to whom should I inquire? Right? If I have a question, who should I ask? So naturally the topic of Guru comes in. No? So,
Potatoes.
where are you going?
The potatoes.
Forget them.
They'll be burned.
No problem. We are transcending the taste of the tongue. So, what is the soul? Many people think we have a soul, but no, we are a soul. We are, the soul in Sanskrit is called jiva. Jiva means life. This body is already dead, it's made of atoms. What is giving life to the dead body? Anna, did you know you're already dead?
No.
Have we been to a funeral? I think we're all old enough. We must have gone to 1 or 2 funerals.
My hero.
We go to a funeral. Why everyone is crying in the funeral? The person we loved is before us. The grandmother, grandfather, mother, father, children, whatever. Why we weep? The body is there. We weep because there's a feeling, even though we cannot understand, the person I loved has gone.
The soul has gone.
Soul has gone. So the body is not the actual object of love. What is the real object of love? That is the soul. So I'll tell you a nice story. This is from Bhagavad Puran. This was told by one person, Hiranyaksha. He told this history. His brother had been killed and all his wives were crying. So to pacify them, he gave them this knowledge, Atmagyan, knowledge of the soul. So he told a story. There was one king named Suyagya. So he was very powerful, very wealthy, very handsome, very young, very powerful. But somehow he was killed in battle. He was chopped to bits. So he had so many wives. So they all ran onto the battlefield weeping. And because they were so chaste, so much they had affection for their husband, they were not performing the cremation ceremony. Like in India, Thailand, all these places. No? Body, as soon as someone dies, then straight away they cremate the body. Why? Then soul has to go to its next destination. Otherwise, too much attached to this body. Then where do all ghosts live? In the graveyard. Right? Because the body is buried and no one wants to give up this material body. So some chances there of taking birth as ghost. So in India anyway, very quickly they cremate the body. Then soul has to go, move on to its next destination. But they were not performing the funeral rites for the husband. Just crying, my husband, my husband. So the god of death, he's also a person. Actually, before all the ancient cultures, you look Maori, I don't know too much about Maori, but I'm sure you look into it, the Aboriginals, the Celts, the Druids, the Greeks, the Mayans, Aztecs, the Egyptians, Indians, Chinese. Everyone used to believe that the soul was a person. And there was persons behind the creation, like the mountain god, wind god, sun god. Everyone believed this before. But with the appearance of Christianity, that was all destroyed. But before, people believed everything was controlled by persons, personhood. So death is also a person, time. In different cultures he has different names, but in India he's called Yamaraj. So time came there in the form of a small child. Because the ladies were very, quite ideal ladies, so he personally came there. And one thing about children, if children can speak the truth, no one take offense. Like if a child calls you ugly, everyone just laughs. And child could go anywhere, no one stops him. So he came in the form of a small child, right? So he came there and asked, "Oh, mothers, why are you all weeping so much? Please tell me, why are you crying? What happened?" They said, "You are too foolish and young. You cannot understand the subject matter." No, he said, "But still, if you are here, I can understand. Why are you crying? What happened?" "Our husband is dead," I said. And looking at the body of the king, he said, "Dead? What do you mean, dead? Don't cry. He's here. I found him." No, they said, "Our husband has gone." "Where is he gone?" "He's here, lying here." And ladies, of course, no. Foolish child, no. Soul has gone. Soul has gone. Then he said, "Then just wait. Maybe he went for lunch. He'll come back in half an hour." No one ever comes back from death, the lady said. Then the boy said, "Then I'm not foolish. You are foolish. Because no matter how much you weep, he will not return. So what is the use of your weeping? Then all ladies became a little surprised. Who is this child? Then Yamaraj said, like in India, when someone dies, they say soul has left the body. Even in New Zealand, right? The dearly departed soul, they say these words, right? The dearly departed soul. Soul has departed means he's left the body. So he said the soul has left the body. So the boy was asking, so this body is not your husband. If this body was the husband, you would not be crying. So soul, he is the husband. Soul has gone. Then ladies were, yes, yes. Our husband is the soul. Then the boy asked, what did he look like? Ladies could not answer. Then the boy began, you said but you are the foolish ones. You are crying for someone you never knew. What your husband looked like. If your husband is the soul, what he looked like. Was he fat? Was he thin? Was he tall? What ornaments was he wearing? No? What color was he? What complexion? The lady said, we don't know. We have never seen the soul. Then the boy said, then you are crying for someone you have never seen and have no knowledge of? Then how much you are foolish, because you are also the soul. You have no knowledge of who you are, and you are crying for your husband, you have no knowledge he is, yet you are weeping. This is just like the foolish pigeon. And he told another history. There was a pigeon who met a lady pigeon in the park. They fell in love. Right? They married. They built a nest. Little eggs came. In due course of time, the babies came out. Husband was very happy. He looks just like me. Then the parents very hard working and bringing food for the little chicklets. But even though laboring so hard, when the babies would say, Mama, Papa, they would feel so happy. In this way they forgot about everything. But the hunter, he noticed this family. So he put some rice, boiled rice, as a trap, and he was hiding. So the lady pigeon, she saw the rice. I've had enough of worms and grubs. I want some basmati. So with the children, she went to eat the rice. The husband said, don't go. Rice does not grow naturally, boiled rice. This must be some type of trap. But did she listen? No. She went with the children. All children were captured by the hunter, who took their lives. Then the male pigeon, he was crying, oh, my wife, you are like half my body. You are like my soul. Oh, children, I cannot live without you. And with his eyes closed, he was crying. And he forgot about the hunter who took his life also. So in this way, nice, happy story. Yamaraj said, no, you are just like the foolish pigeon, the male pigeon, crying for your wife and children, but not knowing that death has also lined you up. You are next in line. So who are you, Anna?
My soul.
You are the soul, right? You are the soul having a temporary human experience. Right? So this is first step. So I am not the soul, I am not this body, I am not this mind. I am a separate. I am the soul, right? The life force, the witness of the body, the controller of the body. In one sense, the doer of activity. If soul is not there, body has eyes but cannot see, has nose, cannot smell, has tongue, cannot taste, has brain but cannot think. No? So, is really the soul doing anything? No. Eye is seeing, nose is smelling, tongue is tasting, ear is hearing, senses are feeling. But soul is not performing any of these activities because soul is akarta, the non-doer. Because soul have no material activities. Right? Soul is like the driver, and this body and mind is like the vehicle, like the machine. Rudrantiya Vihaya, Krishna says. As if riding on a machine made of the material energy. But the soul like a passenger. And this vehicle is the material mind and senses. Okay, Anna? So we talked about material enjoyment. Right? The senses trying to enjoy this world. But would that give happiness to the soul? Because soul is not material. So kirtan, What will give happiness what will give pleasure to the soul? No amount of material enjoyment can give happiness to the soul, because the soul is not material. So we are now in quite a terrible situation. We have forgotten who we are. And now we think, I am this body. Are you Anna? Are you from New Zealand?
Mm-hmm.
No. Soul is not Kiwi.
Sitting me up.
Are you even a woman?
What colour are you?
But everyone says, I am Anna, I am Tina, I am this, I am from Australia, this is my husband, this is my... But actually, these things are all false. These things are called Maya, illusion, that which is not true. So most people don't even care about that. Like when you dream, when you're sleeping in a dream, many things you see in the dream which you think to be real. So we are now in that situation. Therefore, Ato Brahma Jigyasa. Now we have human form, the human body. Human body should not be used for sense enjoyment, because that is possible for all other species of life. Even a worm, right? Yashashri has an organic toilet. What do you call? Composting toilet. In that there's also worms. They also have boyfriend, husband, children. They also enjoy sexual pleasure. They also, according to their capacity, seeing, smelling, tasting, hearing. So this sense enjoyment, this is for all species of life. So now we have the human form. We should not be using human form for that. No, because human body is meant actually exclusively for the practice of spiritual life. But no one's doing it. Therefore all are misery, all are in misery, all are suffering. No? Therefore, Nrideham Madhyam Sulabham Sudulabham Plavam Sukalpam Gurukandadaram Mayanukule Nanaspritam Pumsam Nataretsa Atmaham. The human form of life, this is like the perfect boat to cross the ocean of birth and death. The ocean of Visaya. Visaya means sense enjoyment. Right? All this, the human form of boat is a boat to cross that. No? Birth, death, old age, disease. Punapi maranam, punapi jananam, punanati jayana sayanas. Again and again, how many times we have taken birth? From how many different mothers' milk we have drunk? How many times we have, I'll do later. No? Coulda, woulda, shoulda. How many times disease? How many times old age? How many times we've given up that body just to accept a new one? Okay, so human form is a chance, like a boat, to cross that ocean. But if boat has no captain, cannot reach the destination. No? So need proper guru who knows the goal of life, who knows nicely where this boat should go, what's the ultimate destination. Boat needs breeze, otherwise cannot move anywhere. So breeze means appropriate spiritual practice, not inappropriate spiritual practice, right? Unfortunately, people not taking direction from the scriptures, therefore they're doing many things, but this is inappropriate, because their spiritual practice cannot take them across. Misguided, that people have no idea of the goal of life or how to achieve it. Therefore, inappropriate spiritual practice, not recommended. So we need it. We have human form, we need guru, we need appropriate spiritual practice. Then the boat can take the passenger, right, the soul, and take across this ocean of birth and death. So, so have you heard about the 4 ages of time? 4 time? Should I bother?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Because in all, from the beginning of creation to now, the goal is always the same. Okay, service to the Supreme Lord. That is the goal of all religions. That is the goal of life. But in different ages, there's different processes to achieve that goal. No. So now we're in Kali Yuga. Everyone has very short lifespan. Right? Look at us. How old are we? Going down the chute rapidly. Who even lives 100 years old these days? Very short life we have. Honestly, some guy up the road had a stroke this morning. And how many more years we have left? Will we make it to 80? God, I hope not. So if we live 100 years, even though no one lives 100 years, right? The first 5 years we just lose in right? Childhood, like a dark well, right? Like babies, right? Just sleeping, eating, passing stool, right? Sometimes happy, sometimes sad. So first 5 years lost. Then school, God, no. Then you lose so many years in that to get so-called education for some type of employment. Then we lose so many years in school, in playing, joking. We lose, we sleep out 8 hours a day, so 30 years we lose by sleep. Especially old age people sleep a lot. In childhood also they sleep so much. So 30, 40 years we lose by sleep. Old age, right? Already eyes failing, cannot see, cannot hear, cannot digest, cannot walk, cannot remember, especially in old age, you see. People become again like children. So these last 10, 15 years lost by old age, first 10, 15 years lost by childhood. What's left is also destroyed by sleep. So how much time we have? Not so much. So therefore, before this body is also temporary. So before we give up this body, before time takes us again, we should try to make some proper endeavor towards the goal of life. So we talked about rasa, right? When I contact an object, that feeling of pleasure or pain. Right? What is pleasure and pain? No, in winter, cold water gives pain, but in summer, cold water gives happiness. Right? So-called pleasure and pain. Everyone in the whole world endeavoring how I can get happiness, how misery can be removed. Just to maintain that rasa, that taste. And that's what everyone is working very hard for. Right? How to avoid misery, how to gain happiness. Hunger is one misery. I eat. When I have no more hunger, then I feel happiness. Right? Unpleasant sound like the wife or children screaming. And how I can become free from that unpleasantness of sound and get some happiness, some rasa, some nice topics, some good things. Everyone working very hard in this field of sense enjoyment, how to get pleasure, how to avoid misery, how to avoid suffering. Is anyone successful, Anna?
Yes.
Who? Name one person.
I think people have maybe moments of...
Moments is there. Some temporary cessation of suffering, we call that happiness. Think about it, right? I'm now temporarily free from the misery of thirst, I'm happy. The misery of hunger, the misery of tiredness, the misery of poverty. So some temporary cessation of misery, we call that happiness. But what is real happiness on the soul platform? So the soul is called the ashray. The object. Right? I am eating an ice cream. I am the subject, the ice cream is the object, and the taste, the rasa, that gives some happiness. So if the soul is the ashray, using some little terminology, don't mind, if soul is the ashray, the subject, then what is the ultimate object of happiness for the soul? It cannot be anything like hearing, smelling, tasting, touch, or anything else. What is the ultimate object for the soul to get happiness?
Feeling?
Huh?
Feeling?
For what? For who? There has to be an object.
Awareness.
Of who? Of what?
Self.
We are the object, but what about? We are the subject, but what about the object? I never spoke like this before. I'm trying for the first time. Ashray Visay. So soul is the ashray. But what's the goal? What's the object to taste? The supreme object to taste. The supreme object of happiness. For the soul, what is that? We don't know, therefore no one happy. Therefore, that all the scriptures say that object is God. No? When the soul contacts the supreme object, the supreme Lord, that will give the highest happiness, the highest taste. Right? That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Padam Drishtinyavatite. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is explaining when the soul experiences a higher taste, then can give up all inferior tastes. No? So the supreme Vishaya, the supreme object, that is, we will call him Krishna. Okay, God. God has a name also. God is also a person. So even though now we don't know, we just have to take some belief in the Vedic scriptures. No? Like Elizabeth, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your father's name?
Jim.
How do you know he's your father?
They told me he was.
Exactly. We could not see who placed us in the womb of our mother. It's beyond our experience. But mother, she knows. She tells, this is your father. No? So in the same way, who is our Supreme Father? We cannot know, because we are in a material body, material mind, material senses, captured in the ocean of birth and death. No, we cannot know. If we knew, we would be liberated. And we're definitely not liberated, so we cannot know. In the same way, Elizabeth can only know who is her father by asking her mother. So in the same way, we have two mothers. No? One is the Veda. Vedas we call mother, Veda Mata. No? And have you heard of Gayatri?
Gayatri.
Gayatri.
Or Gaia.
Gayatri? Don't worry. Gayatri mantra. Anyway, in India. Huh?
Yeah.
So Gayatri and Veda, these are two mothers. So they tell us who is your Supreme Father. Okay. So, Raso Vaisa, the scriptures say the highest object of happiness, he is called Raso Vaisa. He is made of ras. He is made of taste. Right? He is made of Ram. Ram means he is made of ecstasy, happiness personified. Ram means the abode of all happiness, of all pleasure.
That bliss.
Bliss. Krishna means the all attractive. So we are wasting our time trying to find some taste in this world with our material senses, fully in ignorance of who we are, and we call this happiness and think there's nothing more than that. No. So the Vedas, they tell, no. Raso Vaisa, he is the supreme attractive object. And when one attains him, the soul will feel this rasa. Okay, so in this age now, in Kali Yuga, we have short lifespan, weak memory. We cannot remember anything. Every day, so many diseases, so many problems. Just to keep a roof over our head, we have to work 8 or 10 hours a day like donkeys. Right? Children, husband sucking our blood day and night. Children, husband, parents, society, just all trying to enjoy us because everyone's in competition to enjoy, right? Your children just see you like a walking ATM.
Oh no. No, I host my kids.
Because everyone has so much lust, everyone trying to enjoy each other. Right? And if there's some conflict, if you stop handing over the money or stop cooking nicely or stop giving nice sex or whatever, then that relationship is broken because everyone's so full of lust. So everyone trying to enjoy, everyone trying to exploit each other. No? Therefore, what happiness in this world? So, in the scriptures describe in this age, because everyone's so much unqualified, no memory, no lifespan, no brain, no purity, no nothing. Therefore, scriptures say, very easy process in this age for self-realization. Very easy. No? Like when you have some some retarded kid, right? Just some idiot. Some very simple thing you have to teach. So in the same way, scriptures say, for this age, this is called Kali Yuga. Have you heard, Tina, Kali Yuga? This is called Kali Yuga, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Everyone's trying to cheat. Everyone's trying to exploit each other. Everyone's so much full of lust, no purity. People full of day to night, full of ignorance, full of bad activities, selfishness. So scripture gives very easy process in this age. That is called Hari Kirtan, what we are doing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So easy. A person with no education can do. If you're uneducated, you cannot study the scriptures. If you're poor, you cannot give charity. If you're not physically strong, you cannot perform the yoga practice. So all other processes have so many eligibility criteria. But Harinam, this age, all you need is a lip and a tongue. That means this age, anyone can achieve perfection by the simple method of chanting these names. So easy, right? One lady devotee named Mirabai, she said, Kachna koi chona ledi dindin bharata sovayo. It doesn't cost anything, right? Hare Krishna, free. Hare Krishna, it doesn't cost anything. Chona lebe, you can never lose it. No one can steal it from you, right? Someone can steal your land or your car or your tiny house or your dog, but this name no one can steal from you. And Dindin Bharata Sovayo, every day it increases. So by chanting these names, what will happen? The soul will be cleansed. Means the coverings of the soul, right? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, this material body, the mind, the intelligence, the false ego, the senses, these are all covering the real self. Like an onion, right? Layer upon layer. So we don't know who we are because now our soul is in a covered condition. So all the scriptures say this name is the most powerful method to destroy all that. Like Gurudev gives an example. You take a huge pile of rubbish and make a fire. And it burns. What happens, Tina, when you blow away the ashes? If you take a bit of gold and you cover it in rubbish and you make a fire, when it burns away and you blow away the ashes, what's left? A piece of gold. So the soul is more than like a piece of gold, now covered by rubbish. This mind, this body, these senses. But this chanting of holy name that will cut the knot of the heart. We're saying we go inside, but we cannot go inside because we're covered. So what will cut that ignorance? And all scriptures say nothing will work so easily and so effectively in this age as chanting of this mantra. It is sodasaka nam nam kalo kalma sanasanam anya anu upaya sarve vede shutrishiti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. It said, if you look in all the scriptures, you'll find no better medicine for destroying the contamination of this age of Kali than this 16-word, 32-syllable Mahamantra. Right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. 8. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. 8 and 8 is?
16.
Wow. And you can count the syllables, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. 16. And just take my word for it. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Same. 16 word, 32 syllable. So, this is one sound incarnation of God. Sabda Brahman. Have you heard of that word, Tina? You can get a tattoo. Sabda Brahman. Sabda, don't spell it wrong. Sabda Brahman, sound incarnation. Right? So this sound, inside this mantra, Krishna is there. So by chanting, especially with the mentality of service, that is the main thing that I want. By chanting with the mentality of service, because if you love someone, you serve them. No? Like if your child was sick, Tina, you would spend without even hesitation, your bank account, you would empty for your child. No? But if I need, how much would you give me? No? I'm just, okay, $5, $10. Why? Because relationship. No? That much we have a relationship, that much we will serve, that much we will give, that much we will dedicate. So main thing, this mantra, when it's chanted, it should not be chanted as an object of enjoyment. I will enjoy this like we enjoy this world. Because that enjoying mentality is what is giving us all type of suffering and trouble in the first place. The desire to enjoy this world is the core of our bondage. Right? In simple language, I hate saying this. we think is happiness that is actually the cause of our bondage and suffering. How are you feeling, Anna?
Good. I was just thinking, it's that vibration when you chant. That's why, like you can feel that vibration.
But we're trying to vibrate with a mood of service. I'm not trying to enjoy this mantra. I'm trying to serve. Huh?
But you do because of that, because we are vibration.
I'm trying to serve. So when one chants with a mentality of service, not enjoyment, but service, therefore, our Guru, there's many stories. Many people chant for musical entertainment or to please the senses. But this is wrong mentality of chanting. Especially in India, but also here. There was one man, like my Gurudevs, Gurus, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. One man was singing Hare for like 10 minutes, right? Hare Krishna, but just for the Hare bit, it was like 5 minutes long. Then we call it Prabhupada stopped. No, this is the wrong mentality. We call this the Tol Talks Sampradaya. Nice sound, musical instruments, everyone trying to enjoy that. So he refuted all these things. So very often the worst singers, he would make them sing. He said, we are not here to hear the nice tune, we are here to serve Krishna. Okay, so if one chants this mantra with a mentality of service, not enjoyment, with a mentality of service, then this mantra will reveal Krishna's form. Our problem is we think the soul has no form, we think God has no form. Does God have a form, Anna? Say yes.
Yes.
Like Tina was singing this, Jaya Sita Ram, Jaya Hanuman. So Sita is Ram's beloved. She has a spiritual form. And Ram is the object, the enjoyer. She is the supreme enjoyed. He is the supreme enjoyer. So both the soul and God both have forms, eternal forms. We have a form, but this is not our eternal form. But the soul also has eternal form. So the soul also has eyes. Soul has nose. Soul has mouth. Soul has ears. Funny, I was reading this book. Where is it? Yeah, can you get it?
Yeah, right now.
That Radha Krishna Ganodeshika. Anyway, I will just keep speaking. I don't know if you will understand, but try to understand. I'm making it very clear. This relation between subject and object and that relationship. So the supreme object, that is Krishna. And the liberated souls, they're the subject. Like you have children, right? You, son, boy or girl? Girl. Right? So the daughter is like, for her, she's like the subject. You are the object. And what relationship is that? As daughter and mother. Right? So, in the same way, the soul is the subject, ashraya, and Krishna is the visai, the object. And that relationship between the liberated soul and the Supreme Lord, that is called ras. So, raso vaisa. All scriptures say Krishna is the ultimate object of ras. And when souls form, because soul also has a body. I remember in Islam and Judaism and Christianity, this subject matter is fully avoided. I remember I was talking to one Muslim man in England about very learned guy, Shia Muslim. Very learned, I was quite shocked. He was vegetarian, so I gave him some time. And we were talking, then I said, what position, what relationship the liberated soul who goes to paradise, right? What relation the liberated soul has with God, with Allah in the spiritual world, in paradise. And I never forget his face. He was horrified. The idea had never come in his mind. What relationship the soul has with Allah in paradise, the subject matter had never crossed his ears even once. Because their goal is just some enjoyment in this world. No, but therefore we believe liberation, mukti api lila nam vigraham bhagavan. What is liberation, Tina? Everyone thinks liberation is merging with God. Is it?
No.
Because if you merge with the object, there's no rest, there's no taste, there's no relationship. If you become chocolate, you cannot taste it anymore. Right? So if you merge with God, that taste is destroyed. So, muktyapi lilanam vigraham bhagavan bhajantam. After liberation, after freedom from birth and death, the soul attains an appropriate spiritual form to serve. And who they serve? The spirit, the spiritual soul. The soul has a spiritual form. The Supreme Lord has a spiritual form. And that relationship, that ras, that is the highest happiness, the highest taste. So by chanting with a mood of service, then Krishna will reveal himself. Then with spiritual eyes you can see his form. With spiritual nose you can smell his fragrance. With spiritual lips you can, as you like, kiss. Some people like that relationship. Like mother kiss son, like wife kiss husband. Taste is also there. No? By body you can embrace, you can hug. So by all limbs of the body, they serve the Supreme Lord. Right? And this mantra will give that result. Okay, so Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This will reveal the form of the Supreme Lord. If you chant with a mood of service, then he will present himself before you to accept that mood. Right? So what will attract the Supreme Lord? Right? Krishna means all attractive. What do you have that's going to attract him?
Wild sense of humour.
Right? Some people want to see God, but what do we have that he will want to see? So one thing will only attract him. That is a mood of affectionate service. That will attract him. Even though the Supreme Lord is all attractive, he is attracted by this mood, by love. If you love someone, you serve them. No? So this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When chanted with a service mentality, this will attract the all attractive. No? Then what is that relationship? We believe the soul has 4 relationships with Krishna. Everyone have their own taste. Some serve him just like a servant serves a master. This is called Dasyaras. Some serve him like a friend serves a friend. Sakyaras. Some serve him like a parent serves a child. No? The Christians are very eager to become the God should be the father and I will be the son. Why? Because the father always gives to the son. But we reject that. No. Better I become the father, Krishna becomes the son. Then day and night, like children always asking you for something, right? Mother, give me this, mother, give me that. So as a mother and father of Krishna, you can have more chance to serve him. Right? Think about it. Cleaning Krishna or Mother like cleaning a child of this world. But that giving bath, teaching, some people like that relationship. And ultimately like husband and wife. What we see in this world, where does it come from? Anything you see in this world has its origin in the spiritual world. But people have no knowledge of the spiritual world. No? So, are there any questions to stop my raving? So try to chant this. We chant with a little bit of mood of service. I am chanting for Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's happiness. No, then this will purify the heart. No, we have many, many lifetimes of foolish activities, ignorance, so much misconception, attachment. But this holy name will destroy all that. Just like one spark can burn a whole mountain of grass to ashes. So even a little bit of devotion can destroy all ignorance. To evaporate, like the sun evaporates water. When this holy name appears in the heart with a mood of service, it evaporates the ocean of birth and death. No? So I thought tonight we'll tell one little story. This is about a great saint named Haridas Thakur. He lived like 500 years ago, a bit more. So, he was so much attached to the name of Krishna, because Krishna is all attractive. So the name of Krishna also is supremely attractive. It said one devotee, Rupa Goswami, he wrote, Tunde Tundamani Rate Vutunate Tundavali Labde Khan Krod Kadambani Katate Kana Badyaha Spriha. The devotee who wrote this book, he spoke this for us. Oh, the name of Krishna gives such a taste, he said. How much nectar is in the two syllables, Krishna, he said. I cannot measure. So when my tongue chants this name, I wish I had millions of tongues. Imagine. Millions of tongues to taste that name. I wish I had millions of ears to drink the nectar of those two syllables, Krishna. So imagine he's praying for millions of tongues, millions of ears to experience the sweetness of these names. When it's chanted with a mood of service, then one can taste that sweetness. So Haridas Thakur, he would chant 300,000 names of Krishna a day. That takes like 23 and a half hours. He felt more happiness in chanting than sleeping, so he never slept. He found more happiness in chanting than eating, so he never bothered eating, right? He found more happiness in chanting than talking with people, right? What we consider happiness, smelling something, tasting, looking, hearing. He found all that in the name. So he felt so much happiness doing that, he never did any other activity. Right? We talked about this as taste. One who tastes that, he loses interest in any other taste. So he was very famous, very famous. Actually, he was born in a Muslim family. But God is not Muslim or Christian or anything. So to teach that God is beyond all religion, Haridas Thakur appeared in Muslim family to teach this thing. So everyone too much respect him, right? Because Krishna isn't the source of everything. He is in the heart of everyone. So who love Krishna, everybody love him. So everyone too much have affection for Haridas Thakur. No? Also because he never need or want anything from anyone. Therefore everyone intrinsically feels so much affection and faith towards him. Like our Gurudev, he have no material desires. So anyone who met him, they feel so much happiness. This person not need anything from me. So they feel no fear from him, right? They feel no fear or anxiety, or so they move around this world like children. No need anything from anyone. So Haridas Thakur was like that. And just day and night he chanted. But one man became so much envious of him. His name was Ramchandra. Why everyone is so much respecting him? He is born in a low Muslim family. Why no one respecting me like that? So he became envious. So scripture says if you meet someone who's more than you become happy, right? Because you're going to get something. Like Anna, right? Anna's a great cook. So if I meet her, a foolish person becomes envious. Oh, why is she better than me? This is no good. Then that guy loses everything. If someone becomes happy when they meet Anna, oh, she's a great cook, and they become happy, you're going to get something, right? Cooking lessons, I don't know, you're going to get some nice meal. If one meets a person superior to oneself and becomes happy, that person gets all good fortune. But who becomes envious, like if someone knows more than you, they're more learned, and you just become happy, you're going to learn something, right? Don't be envious. Enviousness is a very bad quality in spiritual life. No? So if someone knows more than you, or a better speaker than you, or a better singer, or a better cook, just become happy, right? And you will get something. You will gain. So instead of becoming happy when he met Haridas Thakur, he became envious. So he thought how to destroy his character. So Haridas would live alone in the forest. If you go to India, you can go to that place. Even now, it's very solitary in the forest, very solitary. So Ramchandra thought how to destroy him. So he called all the prostitutes. And he said, any of you ladies who can catch him, I'll give half my wealth, right? So one very beautiful young lady, only 16 years old, her name was Hera Lakshmi. Hera Lakshmi was her name. She said, today he is Haridas. Hari means the name of Krishna. Right? Hari Ram, Ram, Ram. Hari means who steals. Who steals. By his beauty, who steals away your mind. By your beauty, who steals away all the senses, that is one name of Krishna, Hari. So Haridas means servant of Hari. Servant of Krishna. So this girl said, today he is Haridas, but I tell you, by tomorrow he will be my Das, he will be my servant. So Haridas would chant alone in the forest. So she went there at night, evening time, sunset. And there was Tulsi plant there. The Tina gave us. So Haridas would chant in front of the Tulsi plant. So she saw Haridas, then she also bowed to Haridas Thakur, and she bowed to the plant, Tulsi plant. Then she prostituted. She knows how to attract a man. She was very beautiful and scantily dressed, shall we say. So she was trying very hard to attract Haridas's senses. So she directly said to him, Pratam yo banatumi Paramasunda tumi Pratama yovan Konari tuma deke derite taraman. Oh Haridas, you are very youthful, very handsome. No woman can control herself if she sees you. And Guruji said, really, Haridas was, his eyes were like a lotus, broad chest. Really, he was handsome. So any ordinary man, beautiful young lady approaches, offering herself, who will say no, right? But it's described, her attempts were like someone crying alone in the forest, no one to hear. Why? Because Haridas's whole mind and senses captured by Krishna, attracted by Krishna. So Krishna's beauty is such, and God means unlimitedly beautiful, unlimitedly handsome, unlimitedly attractive. So whose mind is attracted to him, whose eyes are attracted to his form, his fragrance, his taste, his voice. And so when Krishna just speaks, that his voice is so attractive, all peacocks, or what you call peacocks, cuckoos, all remain silent. They feel shame to speak after hearing Krishna speak. So sweet voice. So Haridas's all senses attracted by that, right, as the object. So what taste he getting from that, you cannot find anywhere else. So her attempts to attract him were like that, crying alone in the forest, no one to hear. But Haridas was very clever, so he said, oh, yes, you are a very beautiful girl. I want to enjoy with you, but I have one problem. Every month I promise to chant so many names of Krishna. So I want to have sex with you. He not said that. I'm gross Aussie, so I'm saying like that. I want to enjoy with you, but I cannot because I promise to chant every month some names of Krishna. No? So just sit here and I'll chant extra fast. And when I finish my chanting, my counting of the names of Krishna, then we can be together. So she agreed, because she's going to get millions of dollars. So, yes. So she sat next to him over there. And Haridas Thakur chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And all night he chanted. Well, for us it sounds impossible. For him it was not, because he's drowning in that nectar. All night he's chanting. And because what she's going to do there for 8 hours, so sometimes she also, Hare Krishna, right? What else are you going to do, right? How do you do all? So sometimes she would also chant like that. The sun rose, and Haridas said, I could not finish. But please you come tonight. I'm sure tonight I will finish. So she went again. Again she came back next night. Again he was chanting. Again she bowed to the Tulsi tree. And again she bowed to Haridas. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, all night. Some devotees have that power. Right? Some devotees have that. They can forget. I've seen, very rare, but you can find some devotees have that much taste. So, like Didi, when she chants, so much taste. Forget everything. Sometimes I joke, in the morning she never talks to anyone when she chants. So, sometimes I joke, someone could be dying of a heart attack in front of you, just Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So much absorption, so much taste. Then they forget everything else. Forget themselves, forget everything. So all night passed, and she also, Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. She also would chant. Then third night came, Haridas, morning the sun came. He said, I'm sure tonight I will definitely finish, 100%, I promise. So please you come one more night. So she came again, same thing. So this sound incarnation of Krishna purifies the heart, we were saying. So hearing from us how much purified, I have some doubt, but someone chant pure name of Krishna with pure devotion, nothing is more powerful than that in this world. So 3 nights she also listening to the pure name of Krishna. Say Hare Krishna, Tina.
Hare Krishna.
Did you see Krishna? Did tears pour from your eyes like a rain? Did hairs of the body stand on end in ecstasy? Did voice choke? Did you become stunned? That means you didn't chant Hare Krishna. We're chanting, but like the cloud covered the sun, so the name is now covered from us because so much misconception, material desires, and like this. So these misconception clouds are vision of the sun. Sun is not covered by the cloud, but our vision of it is covered. In the same way, we're chanting, but misconception and other attractions, other desires, like a cloud. Haridas Thakur, no cloud for him, no. So pure name, direct experience of Krishna. So 3 days she listening, no. Then she also become purified. Then she realized, Jesus, no, she wouldn't have said that. Hare Krishna, what I'm doing. So she began to weep. In morning time, she began bitterly weeping. I am most sinful, I am most low. Actually, I have come here to destroy you. I did not come for any devotion. I actually came here to finish you and destroy you. I am very low, very fallen. So much she began weeping. And Haridas Thakur said, I know all about the plan of Ramchandra. Because one who knows Krishna knows everything. So Haridas Thakur was omniscient. He knows everything, past, present, future. Guru, proper devotee of Krishna, know everything, past, present, future. They show it to you or not, that is another matter whatsoever. But they know everything. So he said, I know about the plan of Ramchandra. Actually, 3 days ago I was going to leave this place. But to deliver you, I stayed here 3 days more. Then hearing this, the girl began crying even more. I am so sinful, so low. How can I be delivered? Then Haridas Thakur tested her. All this wealth and everything you got from prostitution. He not said, give to me, like the modern gurus, right? I will save you, just sign it all over here. He said, give that in charity. Because bad money, pollution, contamination. Then you come back here. And so this is like a test. No? If we want to do spiritual life, we have to be a little determined to give up our bad habits. No? Any vegetarians out there, Elizabeth? Anna? What's her name again, sir?
Sarah.
Sarah?
No, I like meat.
That's gonna have to
But I
stop.
also love vegetarian food. So.
Huh? Make some effort. These are bad things, bad habits. No? Because you're giving pain and suffering, then how you'll feel any happiness. No? Anyway, don't worry, we won't crush you too much in the first place. We all have some bad habits, like we want to make a fire. Firewood's wet, too much work. So these bad habits, this like putting water on a wet firewood. No? Very hard to make some positive spiritual progress if we're addicted to doing bad activities. No? Like, should I go through the list?
Yeah.
I'll probably take a few of them.
We've all ticked a few boxes, don't worry. Anyway, what you have done is not so much important. Like in dream, when we're sleeping, many things we may see and do in a dream. When we wake up, we forget that thing. So what we did before we get knowledge, is not too much importance. No? So like meat eating and what else? Intoxication, drinking, all these things. No? Sex outside marriage, destroy society, destroy everything. So some few bad habits we'll have to give up. So she did it. She came back. Then he gave her some advice. Nilantara namlo kore tulasi sevana achera tabe pavesi Krishna rechana. Always chant these names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, continuously. Nirakshan, every moment, remember Krishna's name, chant his names. And serve Tulsi plant. This plant, just bow her, look at her, think of her, pray to her. By doing this, you will quickly reach Krishna. So, that's initiation into spiritual life. Then he left. This ashram, you stay here, this is yours. And he left. And that girl, so much influenced by the character of Haridas Thakur, she also began chanting like him. No? Guru makes Guru. Guru makes Guru. No? Guru don't want disciple under him. Real Guru always wants disciple becomes more than, always happy by that. No? He's not envious. No? Madhusudana Maharaj always says, when some disciple becomes more than Guru, Guru becomes too much happy. Real Guru. But disciple not become proud, I am more than Guru. No, by Guru's mercy, it may seem like that. But everything is his grace like that. So no pride on disciple, no pride in Guru, because both are servants, no? Both are servants of Krishna. So pride for what? No? Servant has no place for pride. So she began like him, chanting, ideal character. And then many people came to her to see her. They saw her ideal character, how she changed. Then everyone glorified the Guru. Haridas Thakur did like that. No? So this is a small story there from Chaitanya Charitamrita. No? So just start to chant, even if you're not vegetarian, no problem. Chant sincerely, its name will purify. You will also give up that desire also. We want to change, but we cannot because heart is contaminated. No? So how to purify the heart? And even a monkey is vegetarian. This is not enough. Right? Because this also have no relation with Krishna. So whatever we cook, we offer to him. No? Any question, ladies? And Chris, any question? It's a composting toilet. You know how they work? Yeah. Yes, you're from Northland, I'm sure. Any questions?
I was just say that we do chant every month.
So don't waste your time in India, right? Doing the same thing in New Zealand, seeing, smelling, tasting. Try and do something proper. No? I want to read, that's why I got this book. I want to read. So this Tulsi plant of Tina's, she gave us, we just see the body, but what is the soul? So I'm reading this book today, a long time I've not read it. This describes the bodily features of the perfected souls, right? The liberated souls. So, here we go. Yes, unfortunately people don't believe in the form of God, therefore they don't believe in the form of the soul. This is one type of atheism. Okay, what am I doing? Here we go. This is Krishna lives in the spiritual world, right? He has his own abode, the kingdom of God. So when he comes to this world, all the liberated souls come with him. Oh God, I can't find it. So this book is I'm little reading, beautiful. Describe all the forms of those eternal associates of Krishna. Brinda. So in this world, she comes in the form of plant, so we can see her. No? We can water her, we can do some service. But a little bit describe her spiritual form. Tapta Kanchana Vanabja Brinda Kanti Manohara. Brinda, like Krishna's, the city where the town where Krishna was born is called Brindavan. I lived there. Oh, you're welcome. 20,000 temples of Krishna in that city. It's Hare Krishna paradise. No meat or eggs in that city, no alcohol. No? So this town is named after her, Brinda, Brindavan, the forest of Brinda. Brinda's bodily complexion is attractive like molten gold. She wears blue garments and is decorated with pearls and flowers. Brinda's father is Chandrabhanu, and her mother's name is Fulara. Her husband's name is Mahipala, and her sister is Manjari. Brinda always resides in Vrindavan. She is eager to relish many kinds of ecstatic services, as well as arranging the meetings between Radha and Krishna. She is always immersed in love for them. So here's described many of Krishna's servants, how they look. Veera is another messenger. Right? Veera's complexion is blackish blue, Shamala, but seems bright because she wears white clothing. She is decorated with many kinds of flower garlands and jeweled ornaments. Veera is another prominent female messenger. She is worshipful and famous in Vrindavan. Veera is a fearless speaker. Conversely, Brinda is most clever in using sweet and charming words. Veera's husband is Kavala. Her mother is Mohini. So the soul also have their family there. No? Anyway, I was a little bit reading this today. Krishna has, who can count millions of Krishna's friends, servants, messengers, mothers and fathers, grandmothers. There's a whole list of grandmothers, grandparents.
So there's souls of devotees that have found.
There are two types of souls. The souls who are always with him. This book is describing them. They never forget Krishna and come to this world and suffer like we do. They're called the eternally liberated souls. They're so much absorbed in Krishna, I don't even know this world exists, the material world. The eternally liberated souls. And we are another type of soul. We're called the eternally forgetful souls. Since time without beginning, we have forgotten Krishna. Why God made the material world? Why we're not in the spiritual world? Why, as souls, why we're in this material world?
So we can keep forgetting.
Why? Because we want to forget.
So we can taste everything.
And forget Krishna. That's right. We can taste everything except Krishna. Exactly. Because soul has free will. Soul has free... She's got it. Soul has free will.
Taste of Krishna?
Something we're tasting, otherwise how can we practice all this?
Yeah.
But not fully. But
What did it?
Huh?
Can you describe your experience?
My experience is not too much important. But you come and meet those who have fully experienced Krishna. That's important. Right? Like we told the story of Haridas. So there's a material world and a spiritual world, no? So all souls are not here. Some are eternally liberated. They're always with Krishna. It's describing that. No? And there are some souls like us who always forget. Because God has given each soul some free will. You want to serve me? Come. And some souls choose not to serve him. Why should I be a servant when I can be a master and enjoyer? So the souls who want to exploit and enjoy, they have to forget their spiritual identity. Otherwise they cannot fulfill their desire for separateness. So why did God make illusion? To fulfill those souls who desire to forget him, to fulfill their desire. So their spiritual nature is covered. But then you too much suffer, no? So after suffering, then praying, then Krishna, because he's also in the heart of everyone. So he hears that prayer, then he arranges us to meet devotees, we can hear something, and again begin to serve him. Understand? Had enough of forgetting him? That's why very hard. Because millions of lifetimes we've forgotten. So, someone has good fortune, I want to remember. So, smartavyo satato vishnu vismartavyo najutati sarva vidinasidayo etayo vikinkanam. Spiritual life is only two rules. Always remember Krishna, never forget him. All other rules, like giving up alcohol and meat, these are all just why we're doing that, so we can remember him. All other rules and regulations are the servants of these two principles. So some souls always remember. They're the liberated souls. And when Krishna comes to the material world, he brings them with him. So you can read all about them. Krishna's girlfriends, right? We talked about, like this world, there's husband and wife. So sex life is also there, you know. But in perfect stage, it's only for Krishna's pleasure. So you can read about Krishna's girlfriends. No? Tungavidya is well versed in 18 types of knowledge. She is exceptionally skilled in arranging the meeting of Radha and Krishna. Krishna has full faith in her. No? She is the guru in the art of music. She is most expert in dancing. No? She is expert in, what's dramaturgy? I didn't know what that is. Is that drama?
Drama queen.
She's drama queen.
Must be dramaturgy. I never heard that. No? She's most expert in drama, like doing, not like here, as well as telling appropriate stories or instructive fabricated stories for the happiness of Krishna. She is especially skilled in singing and dancing in different tunes, rags and raginis. She's expert in playing all musical instruments. She's in charge of the 8 famous Sakhis, girlfriends, headed by Manju Meda. Anyway, many things there. She's a leader of the skilled gopis who know how to play drum, who are expert in the 64 arts, like decoration, speech, making drinks, cooking. They're expert in all these services now.
64.
64. Yes, cooking is only one of them. Don't become proud.
I think the list is 64.
So, soul have a divine form with all wonderful, appropriate qualities, all divine qualities. So, anyway, at the stage of perfection, that manifests. And all that is for the happiness of Krishna. So imagine what Krishna has, that he can attract this type of liberated. So Krishna's beauty is so astonishing, even the liberated souls are attracted to it. Anyway, so.
Could you speak a little bit about Radharani for the ladies?
What ladies are here? All are men. All are trying to enjoy, right? So they're males, right? We believe all souls are female. All souls have a feminine nature. No? Like, feminine means to be enjoyed, to be servants. All souls have actually females. But we have given that up and taken on the foreign of trying to be the male and trying to be the exploiter. Right? So we'll give up our false mood of being the dominator, the controller, the enjoyer. That mood is the cause of all misery and suffering. But soul is servant. So all souls are female, actually. We're hearing about some of them. So Krishna is the supreme male, the supreme enjoyer. Right? Because he created everything. So everything is for him. Right? So he is the enjoyer of everything. But we are so foolish. We are in competition for him. We're also trying to be the enjoyers. So as we're busy exploiting everything, then no place for us in the spiritual world, because in the spiritual world everyone knows only a mood of service to him. So those who are averse to Krishna, they come to this world. So God is the supreme male. That's what we call Krishna. But like sun without sunlight you cannot see the sun. So God has his energies. Right? This world is one of his energies, the material energy. The soul is another of his energies. And the spiritual world also manifested by his spiritual energy. Right? So his supreme spiritual energy, she also has a form. Her name is Radha. Have you heard of the name Radharani? Yeah. Hare Krishna, that's her, Hare. Hare means her. Right? As Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, as he has an all-attractive spiritual form, she is the supreme enjoyed. She also has an all-attractive spiritual form and qualities. But everything she has, she uses for the pleasure of Krishna, the happiness of Krishna. So she always attracts him. He's the all-attractive, but he's always attracted by her devotion, her love. Right? So, as souls, without coming under her protection, no one can give up the false mood of being an exploiter and develop a mood of service. We talked about Ashraya and Visai. Can you remember the object and subject? Krishna is the supreme object, but she is the supreme subject. So without her grace, without her mercy, no one can serve Krishna. Therefore her name comes first, right? Like without sunlight you cannot see sun. Without her grace, without her mercy, no one can see Krishna, no one can serve him. So she is the supreme feminine. Therefore she is the goddess of all souls. And who comes under her shelter, her protection, then she'll give them love of Krishna. So Krishna is her property. So in Vrindavan, when you come, if you come Vrindavan, you'll see no one chants Krishna's name. Mostly everyone chants her name. She is so kind, so merciful. So what can I say? So everyone takes her shelter. Otherwise, you have no chance to reach Krishna or serve him. So she's the source of service to Krishna, the source of love of Krishna. Okay. Anyway, so the supreme male, the all-attractive male, the all-attractive female, the supreme attractor, the supreme attracted, the supreme enjoyer, the supreme enjoyed, the divine male, the divine female. This is the divine couple. And all souls, actually our service is to arrange the meeting of Radha and Krishna. So, and Sita Ram, like Krishna has many incarnations. So when Krishna comes in the form of Ram, then Radharani comes in the form of Sita. When Krishna comes in any form, like Narayana, Radharani always comes as Lakshmi. But the origin, the source of everything, that is Radha Krishna.
Is it is the feminine and masculine energies?
And what are you?
Well, both.
No! You are feminine. You are soul, you are servant. Don't try and be, if you try and be both, you'll suffer. You have
But
to,
what if it's not a trying, isn't it?
because we've been here millions of lifetimes, for us it feels natural. But it's not natural. Like a mad person, right? If you go to the mental hospital and someone says, I'm Adolf Hitler, you say he's mad, right? For example. When someone forgets who they are and think they're someone else, that person is mad. So when someone forgets their soul and think I'm this body, that person, that's one type of madness. That's why, like, very hard to talk sense to a mad person. That's why very few people can really practice and follow spiritual life nicely. Okay, so you are not male, you are not a mix, you are a servant. So try to give up this idea of I am the enjoyer, I am the exploiter. Give that up, then you can feel happiness. Okay?
But happiness wasn't a feeling.
Huh? What?
But happiness wasn't a feeling.
What do you mean?
I thought we were in, earlier you were saying that happy, because we said, what is happiness?
But when you serve
Happiness
Krishna,
is
you'll
a
feel
feeling.
happiness. You cannot deny it. But otherwise, who would serve him? The wonderful thing, no one's serving Krishna to become happy. They don't care about that. Like Radharani, that's why she's so worshipful. Even though when she serves Krishna, many ecstasies manifest in her body. Like her voice become choked, tears become... She not become happy by that ecstasy. Oh, these ecstasies are just stopping my service to Krishna. So she's so much worshipful for that. She have no... Anyway, we cannot understand her now. But anyway, something. At least we can try and become 1% of that. No? Forget own enjoyment, own happiness. So some good things we can start. Become vegetarian. Give up alcoholism.
One at a time.
Start with meat eating, because alcohol only destroys yourself, but meat eating destroys everything.
Good point.
Okay, so start with that. And Anna, even vegetarian, vegan diet, this is full of violence. Spinach and all the fruit and vegetables also have life. So don't think that being vegetarian is enough. Because all spinach, all fruit, every life, who it belongs to? It's all
Then
Krishna's.
what are you supposed to eat?
Don't worry, we'll get there. So eat. What are we supposed to eat? So you should cook with a feeling this world belongs to Krishna. All fruits, all vegetables, myself, my kitchen, everything I have is his. I am his servant. This is all paraphernalia for his service. I'm cooking for Krishna's pleasure. That's what we do. We cook for Krishna. We don't say, oh, that looks good. No. It's all for Krishna's enjoyment. And we offer that to him. Then it becomes pure. Any violence or any fault is destroyed by offering it to Krishna. Then you can take that with the mood of servant eats. Like dog eats what? What's left over, dog eats. So we want to be like that, servants. So after...
show you the process because you've got to offer all your preps. Would you like to offer it actually?
Okay, yes. Any questions? I know it's a bit much in 1 hour to speak everything. We have some, can you bring that little bag from the car, the red bag? Or just bring a few of the little books and a few Bhagavad Gitas. Are there any questions more? So Anna, it's not enough to be vegetarian because that is also forgetfulness of the Supreme Lord. Don't forget him.
Being in service.
Huh?
Being in service.
So be in service, cook for him. You often, you taste that, then you see how it's different. How it's different. Okay, you're coming to India? Come to Vrindavan?
Yeah, right. I'm just going to heat up some of the preps so we can offer them and show you how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the bathroom and grab. Shall I bring what I brought in?
Yes,
here?
please.
Okay.
I'm not getting my jacket. Come on.
Yes, it's cold. Isn't it?
Make the noises. Make the noises.
Toughen up.
Oh, I know.
So you're in the ecstatic dance club.
Yeah.
She was telling me about it.
Yeah.
Sounds funny. So what they do? No drugs, no alcohol. Everyone just have a good time.
Yeah. And it's kind of a wave of, so it starts really calm and it's about feeling into your body and then letting things come through, and it's like it goes, it's quiet and then it builds up into quite chaotic and then comes back down.
How often do they do it? Once a month?
I do it every 2 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, it was once a week, but I do it every 2 weeks.
Where do you live?
I live in Kirikiri.
Okay.
Mm.
Don't know what that is.
That's 20 minutes from here. So.
You have a husband to go to India with?
Yeah,
Okay, that's important.
yeah,
All of us.
yeah. I've been before.
Have you?
Yeah,
Where did you go?
got stuck in Goa for a bit.
When was that? In COVID?
No, years ago, 2015. Spent quite a lot of time in Hampi.
Okay. Hippie locations. Hare Krishna.